In the e-commerce space, the customer journey is becoming increasingly complex every year. Customer expectations are undoubtedly undergoing a major transformation. With the massive emergence of social media and messaging channels, their journey with business is also evolving. No matter how great your marketing campaigns or logo looks like, if you don't understand who is your ideal customer, or how do they discover you, or how do they feel when they come in contact with your organization, you won't be able to delight your customers. Now, the question is, how can brands meet these expectations and ensure every customer journey is smooth? Stay tuned as I am unleashing more about customer journey mapping. Welcome to e-commerce growth, the show where I talk about how you can turn your visitors into repeat customers. This includes tips, trends, and conversations with store owners and thought leaders across the e-commerce industry to help you learn how to grow revenue faster for your business. I'm Shuvo, and today we are talking about 5 questions you need to answer to create your perfect customer journey, which fuels your revenue. I'll also provide you with a link of a manifesto that you can also use to build your customer funnel at the very end of the show, so make sure you listen all the way through. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. I'll drop brand new episode each week. Also join our Facebook group and YouTube page if you haven't already subscribed to this. We will break down all the episodes throughout the week into those channels. I'll post the links in the description box as well. So let's get started. Today's episode is mostly for the e-commerce entrepreneurs who are starting out their journey or struggling to close more sales. For those of you who aren't familiar with this customer acquisition funnel, let me give you a brief definition. A customer digitally interacts with different organizations multiple times before they reach any decision. These repeated interactions make up what is called the customer journey. According to a research from Salesforce, you all know about the company, right? 80% of customers now consider their experience with a company to be as important as its products. Let me give you a walkthrough of how an e-commerce customer journey usually looks like. Well, customer journey has 5 stages. Today I'll go through each of these stages and tell you about 5 important questions you need to answer to nail that. It begins with the discovery stage. To illustrate it a little better, here's an example. Aaron wants to have heavy stubbled beard. All the men can understand, right? But he has been finding it hard to deal with acne, itchiness, and a smelly beard. So he heads over to Google to find a solution to it. Aaron is now at the discovery stage. He is looking for recommendations for the best product to deal with it, and that can also help him groom his beard. So, the discovery stage starts when a customer realizes that they have a problem or they need something. They start to look for ways to solve or buy it, and they discover you, your company, your online store in the process. They learn about your product or service through word of mouth recommendation as well, seeing an advertisement, or doing their own research. So, the very first question that you need to ask yourself is, how would your ideal customers discover you? Your ideal customers can be of high intent or can be of low intent as well. They might be directly searching for a solution that your product can give, or they might be also directly searching yourself, your company, which they might have heard from some of his friends or close circle. They can do Google search about their problems, or they can see your name coming up in Facebook. You know about the Facebook algorithm. Whenever I'm searching for anything, Facebook is showing me all the relevant ads. So that's basically how in these days we come to know about a business. And it's not only Facebook. You can think about Instagram, you can think about Twitter, you can think about any other relevant channels. I think YouTube is also getting very important, and there is more channels like TikTok, which is also very prevalent these days. So you need to make sure you design your marketing campaigns in such a way that your ideal customers can discover you easily. Think about where your ideal customers hang out. It might be social media, it might be church, I don't know, it might be restaurants, or it might be a golf club, anywhere else. You need to find out where your ideal customers live and hang out. What do they do when they want to solve a problem that your product solves? Spend in relevant channels. I'd always suggest to start with one channel, experiment on it, master it, and then move into other. So for examples, if your customers live in Facebook, spend their majority of the time in Facebook. If they mostly hang out in Instagram, use that. If your product needs research to discover, like maybe a cream for acne or painkiller for pregnant women, then spend in Google. I'll discuss in length about how to pinpoint your ideal customer profile and target channel in my next podcast. So don't forget to subscribe as well. So now that your people or ideal customers or customers like Aaron has discovered you, the next thing that comes is basically the interest stage. So the second question you need to ask yourself is, what do they do when they want to know more about you? Do they go to your website? Do they talk to your sales team? Do they go to your Facebook, Instagram page? Or they just don't do anything because you don't have any options? So for example, now that Aaron is interested about your product, the next thing he'll do is to look up into your online pages. Check different reviews because he trusts people, he trusts reviews. And if possible, he would want to talk to you because once he talks to you, he can understand your product much better. He can understand your ecosystem. He can understand how your company delivers the product, how your company takes a return or refund, all those policies related to it. Because at the end of the day, Aaron is spending money and he needs to make sure that his money is going to somewhere where it gives him the return, the product, the problem he wants to solve. So this is actually very crucial stage. Make sure your sales agents are always ready. Make sure you are active in all the channels from where your ideal customers might come in. Make sure they get their answers as soon as possible. With digital experiences becoming the new normal, your customers expect personalization from your online store and expect them fast. In fact, 75% of your online visitors will move to another store if they don't get a reply in 5 minutes. So adopt to a technology that gives you the freedom to serve at scale anytime, anywhere. Well, now Aaron has got the product he wants, and your sales team might have satisfied his queries as well. Aaron will now move into the third stage, the intent stage. In this stage, Aaron adds items to a wish list or a shopping cart, but he is still only considering the purchase. He might take a screenshot and send it to you to ask more questions or details, or he might as well think, oh, this looks great. I'm gonna save it for later and see what else I can find. Remember, the competition is fierce these days. Your customer will check out multiple similar products before they buy one or invest into one. So you need to really stand out in the crowd. In that case, the third question you should ask ourselves is, how is my buying process for my customers? Can they buy from my website, online store? Can they also buy from Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or the channel they live in? What's the total buying journey? Do they need to add in cart? Do they need to open another page to see the cart? Do they need to do a long checkout process? Do they need to fill up a lots of information again and again? Remember, 90% of the consignment stores sell through conversation these days. So it might need that your agents get involved into the buying process. You need to make sure your buying process is smooth. Don't just talk to your customers and give them a link to complete the purchase. If possible, place the order for them. Don't give them a chance to drop off. If they kept anything in cart or wish list, do follow up. You need to be ruthless and consistent to win this. At the end of the day, you are not making one sale only. You are getting one lifetime customer if you can wow them. So don't take the risk to leave your customers in dirt. Well, my suggestion, handhold your new customers as much as possible. Guide your old customers. You'll be able to be an unstoppable brand. Now it's time to make the purchase. Aaron is satisfied. Aaron has trusted you. Make sure the purchase is as easy as breeze for Aaron. Either place the order for him or follow up till he completes the purchase. Make sure your store has very smooth journey as well. Your page loads fast, the cart is visible, the order details are easily fillable. Once you place the order, the fourth question you need to ask yourself is, how are you following up in the post-order process? How are you sending the order confirmation? Is it just a mail? Is it a SMS? Who opens an SMS? How are you confirming about the logistics approach, when the order will get delivered, if it's delayed or not, if it's rain coming in and there will be more delays or not? How is the payment going to be done? Is it always be online payment, or the customer has to pay when the product gets to him? Well, now take a deep breath, smile. You have done this. You have made Aaron buy your product. You got the sales. The revenue scale is moving. Now it's time to make sure Aaron comes to you again and tells his girlfriend, his best friend, to the people he meets in bar daily, to the neighbor who needs the similar product, to the whole world through social media. Only then you can build the flywheel, the magic wheel that materializes your dream. So, finally, this is the engagement stage. The fifth and final question you need to ask yourself is, well, wait for it, here it comes. How can you convert them to repeat users and advocate? Because at the end of the day, you made a hard sell, you made a customer, now you need to make sure that customer, Aaron, comes to you again and again. You need him to purchase again. You need him to engage on social media. You need him to subscribe your newsletter, read your articles, and subscribe to customer-only bonuses and upsells. So make sure once the purchase is done, you follow up in Aaron's preferred channel. It can be WhatsApp, it can be Viber. Send helpful tips about his health, send him reward points, send him a birthday wish. Make a personal bonding with Aaron. Well, then again, my suggestion would be to use any tool that helps you do all this sort of personalized automation. Set things up and rest in peace. Well, that's how you can convert your visitors like Aaron to a regular user. So buckle up and start designing your dream customer journey. To help you get started, I'll post a link with a manifesto. Using that, you can design the journey by yourself. You can knock me in Twitter or LinkedIn or virtually anywhere where I'm available to get more suggestions. Also, you can book a personal call with me where I will help you review your customer journey from all the experiences I gathered working with multiple e-commerces in different countries. The link to the call is posted in the description as well. Looking forward to change the game with you. Identifying customer journeys allow you to uncover critical obstacles and opportunities that improve your customer experience. You need to make sure your customers feel better, safer, and more powerful whenever they interact with your employees, systems, channels, or products. Make it easy to implement your customer journeys that let your teams drive growth, retention, and customer success. Strategically optimizing your customer journey and customer experience will increase customer loyalty and satisfaction while decreasing returns and churn. At the same time, it is just as important for manufacturers to understand customers' experience and journeys to ensure they optimize both the placement of their products and services and their communication in stores and online. So thanks for listening to e-commerce growth podcast. Before we go, show some love for your favorite podcast by leaving us a review. Stay tuned for next week where you go into more details about the discovery stage of your customer journey. Till then, keep being awesome.